position. Rise up, make that decision. God will provide all your needs. He wants you to succeed. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet. Rise up.
Welcome to another segment of the Drexwell Seymour Show. Now, I know many of us can get caught up in a lot of hype, a lot of cliches, and we just run with what we hear and what we see. And sometimes these cliches and these things do not fit in properly. They're inaccurate. And so I want us to encourage you today to take your time when you come across writings, including myself, including my own. I want you to encourage you to do your own research. There are a lot of people out there who are even taking things out of the Bible. They're taking it out of context, and they're making these short statements, and they're just running with it. And then when you dig further into this, you realize what they're doing is contrary to what was the intention of the Bible or anything else. And not only ordinary people doing this, extraordinary people who are celebrity, people who are well known, and because they're well known, we think they must be right. And not because somebody is well known means they're right. As you go through this life, as you go through this year, I encourage you this year to study things for yourself. Take your time. Don't be quick. And that's something that I'm learning. I've learned not to like things right away. When I see someone post something or I see someone say something, I dig further into it to make sure I understand the intent. Make sure, even if it means me contacting the person directly to understand the message behind it. Now, I don't want to give any examples of a lot of cliches or people taking things out because I don't want to throw any shade at anyone. But I want us to open our eyes to be conscious of the fact that there are people out there that are making statements, that are making short statements, that are taking things out of context, and we're running with it. And even when it comes to the Bible, verses, sometimes we just take one little word out of that sentence, and they make a whole different story out of it, which is completely different from the meaning of the Bible. So it's the best way to read the entire chapter. Don't just read that one verse. Read above it, read behind it, because it can take the whole thing out of context. So I encourage you today to study for yourself. Don't be too quick to run with everything you hear. And of course, sometimes these things sound good. A lot of things sound good, but that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean it's the right thing. What happened is some of us, or some people, are playing emotions. They're trying to make you feel good. They're trying to motivate you. And sometimes some of the things they're telling you, they didn't believe it, but it sounds good, so they're putting it out there to make you feel good. But you have a mind of your own. You can read on your own. If you can't read, you could go. There are audios, there are audiobooks, there are things that you can study even without reading, by just listening. And it's very crucial for you because these things can be very, very misleading. So today I want you to, as you start off this year, 2023, I want you to be independent. I want you to think for yourself. I want you not to be caught off guard and not just listening to what well-known people say or what celebrities say, but to understand the facts about the situation and run with it, rather than running with things that sound good, because it can harm you, it can hurt you, and it could be some things that overpromise you that you think it's going to come through, but it's not going to come through, because it's not going to come through because, first of all, it's not factual that some of the things that are being said. So please use this year to do a lot of studying. Use this year to get acquainted with information. The important thing for anybody is knowledge. You need to acquire as much knowledge as you can. And the good thing about acquiring knowledge is that nobody can take it away from you. And with your knowledge, you'll be able to decipher the truth. You'll be able to decipher what's wrong. And because sometimes we don't even do our own thing. We just listen to what other people have to say. And because of who the person is, we say, this must be true. This got to be true. And when sometimes it is not true. But you have a mind of your own. You can do it. So I want to encourage you this year to pursue your own things, pursue your own study, understand what you are repeating, because sometimes you are forwarding messages. I mean, I find myself doing that in 2022, and I realized I had to go and unlike some things, because when I dig further into the issue, it was not really what it meant to be. So I encourage you to stay, not to be too quick to like things, not to be quick to repeat things. Take your time, understand what it is that you're forwarding, understand what it is that you're studying. It's not hard to find out. It requires a lot of studying, not a lot. It requires you to study, it requires you to obtain knowledge. And once you do that, you can do your own thing by understanding what it is and understanding the truth and passing the right message behind. So with that said, I just want to wish you again a happy 2023. And remember, this is your year of studying. This is your year of acquiring knowledge. This is your year of passing the right information. There is too much inaccurate information out there, and it's becoming the truth to some people. But there's only one truth, and you don't need to be having all these different truths. If you get the right information, that will be the truth. Have a wonderful 2023.
Rise up, rise up.